city of San Francisco has been warned of a hippie invasion.
They declared their rights to the freedom of body, the pursuit of joy, and the expansion of consciousness.
It was like arriving in Wonderland.
The Summer of Love on American Experience.
Tonight at 7 on Arizona PBS. Explore new ideas and new worlds here on Arizona PBS, a community service of Arizona State University.
We know how much you love Arizona PBS, and we love you for it. That's why we're offering an opportunity to loyal viewers to be part of our behind the scenes as a volunteer tour guide at our studios. Share your knowledge and enthusiasm with students and visitors of all ages. You'll cover topics including media, technology, higher education, and everything Arizona PBS. Simply visit our website to apply before the deadline. Qualified candidates will attend a brief meet and greet, and you'll soon be ready for training. Positions will fill fast, so apply today. Thank you.
Coming up next on Arizona PBS, Life and World. When you want to be more connected, friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, watch us online. Coming soon to Arizona PBS. Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from...
I'm David Goldstein, owner of Biltmore Loan and Jewelry. We buy or loan on upscale assets. We have over 30 years of experience in determining values of automobiles, jewelry, art, collectibles, and antiques. For more information and appointments, biltmoreloan.com.
Hospice of the Valley, medical, social, and spiritual care for patients nearing end of life, and support for their families. A not-for-profit community hospice, HOV.org.
And the motion is agreed to.
Tonight on Cronkite News, the Senate votes on a procedural motion to end Obamacare. We tell you the next steps towards new health care legislation.
And Senator John McCain is back in the Capitol just days after his cancer diagnosis. We'll give you a closer look at the senator's return and why he is fighting for health care reform.
Plus, ADOT is making changes to its driver license manual, what these changes are, and how they could benefit the state.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Patricio Espinosa.
And I'm Emily Bloom. Thank you for joining us. Both of Arizona's senators participated in an important health care vote today as the Senate moves forward with its plan to repeal and replace Obamacare. The Senate voted in favor of a procedural motion to discuss new health care legislation. President Trump supports the decision and has been an active supporter of the bill.
And now we move forward towards truly great health care.
Moving forward, the Senate will propose several amendments to the original House bill, but the final outcome that will affect millions of Americans is still unknown.
And among the senators that voted yes is Senator John McCain, who returned today to D.C. after being diagnosed last week with brain cancer. While Senator McCain was officially back to cast votes on the health reform bill and the defense budget, there was another reason behind his return. The veteran senator brought a forceful message to lawmakers on both sides of the aisle about the dysfunction that is gripping Washington. Cronkite News reporter Emma Lockhart was at the Capitol.
Arizona Senator John McCain did not mince words for his fellow senators today. He's blaming Republicans and Democrats alike for refusing to work together and solve the nation's problems. He said it's time to stop listening to the bombastic loudmouths on the radio, television, and internet, and for senators to trust each other again.
Let's return to regular order. We've been spinning our wheels on too many important issues because we keep trying to find a way to win without help from across the aisle. We're getting nothing done, my friends. We're getting nothing done. I have every intention of returning here and giving many of you cause to regret all the nice things you said about me.
McCain left shortly after the address. He said he intends to go home and focus on his recovery. At the Capitol, Emma Lockhart, Cronkite News.
And other politicians took to Twitter offering their support for the senator, with President Trump and House Majority Leader Mitch McConnell thanking McCain for coming back to work. Fellow Arizona Senator Jeff Flake called McCain a valuable asset to both the Senate and the country. And Arizona Governor Doug Ducey says he's thrilled to see McCain fighting for their state. McCain will be in D.C. for a few days, where he hopes to manage floor debate on the Defense Authorization Act.
Democrats and Republicans were sparring on the House side of the Capitol today. Arizona Congressman Ruben Gallego joined other Democrats blasting a GOP plan to allocate $1.6 billion towards construction of a border wall, a wall President Trump has insisted Mexico will pay for.
The idea that we're going against the first thing that Donald Trump said, which is Mexico will pay for this wall. This wall is not getting paid by Mexico. This wall is being paid by U.S. taxpayers. It is their taxpayer money. So what Donald Trump promised is a lie.
Democrats accuse the Republicans of setting up a rigid vote by including the border wall money in a defense funding bill that has to be passed. That bill could be on the House floor tomorrow. The Arizona Department of Transportation made a major change to its driver license manual. Cronkite News reporter Tyler Finger is in the broadcast center tonight, and he tells us why the state is hoping this could be a positive change for our rights.
Yeah, that's right. To get your driver's license, you're tested on this manual. But now if you flip through to page 56, you'll find a section dedicated to traffic stops. The hope to prevent a deadly encounter with police when pulled over. The Arizona Department of Public Safety and the Arizona Department of Transportation both think this change will have a positive impact here in Arizona. You may remember this traffic stop.
I do have a firearm on me.
When a Minnesota police officer opened fire on Philando Castile, killing him back in 2016. But now an Arizona lawmaker is hoping a change he pushed for will prevent it from happening here.
I don't want another Philando Castile. I don't want that to happen. And I want to make sure that we are trying to prevent any type of shootings that take place at traffic stops before they even occur.
Arizona is one of the first states in the nation to change their driver's license manual to add a section like this. For State Representative Reginald Boulding, this change is about education.
We need to make sure that here in Arizona, a state that has a number of guns out on the street, a number of guns that are riding in vehicles of individuals, that we're having some sort of education.
In it, they outline best practices that drivers should follow when pulled over by law enforcement, like things as simple as putting the car in park to letting the officer know if you have any weapons on you.
It's always good to look at things in society that affect drivers, and if we can add some information that's a benefit to everybody that's a driver, then we're certainly going to give a good look to that, and this was certainly one of those very positive situations.
The Arizona Department of Public Safety was also involved in this change. For the director, it's a message drivers should read.
If we can teach youth what to do when they're stopped and impact the next generation, maybe most of these miscommunications become something of the past.
State Representative Boulding is happy the change has been made, but says the state and country still have a long way to go.
It's important that drivers recognize what to expect when they're stopped, but it's even more important that drivers recognize and understand their rights.
Other traffic stop suggestions include lowering the windows in your car, especially if they're tinted. At night, turning on all of the lights inside the vehicle so the officer can see inside. And a simple but very important one to remember, keep your hands firmly on the steering wheel. Also, they recommend listening to and complying with any of an officer's directions. In the broadcast center, Tyler Finger, Cronkite News.
Security is big business at increasingly dangerous countries around the world, and providing international security can be lucrative. Cronkite News reporter Kevin Cusack tells us about a new online master's program designed to provide new opportunities in global security.
Coor Hall on ASU's Tempe campus may be a long way from today's international security hotspots, but it's actually ground zero for a new degree designed to prepare graduate students for the changing security landscape.
Right now, anybody watching the news or reading the newspaper will read story after story of conflict and crisis and threat and challenge, and it's an appropriate time to study these issues.
The new Master of Arts program in global security is all online and targets people working in the military, government, or private sector where security is a top priority.
One of the key elements that makes our MA unique is that we integrate in the regular courses video material from interviews we conduct with our key members of our team and material from our conference.
According to the Center on the Future of War, the MA in Global Security incorporates some key pillars, which are innovative strategic thinking, the development of analytical tools, interdisciplinary engagement, and flexible but resilient approaches to complex challenges of global security.
Important is to have these analytical frameworks and multiple perspectives that they can apply to any different context and get leverage for thinking through how they're going to act.
The point being that we're linking theory and practice in a unique way.
Theory and practice for a safer world. In Tempe, Kevin Cusack, Cronkite News.
And about 30 students are expected to enroll in the new program by the time classes start next month.
We get to surf the web with no limitations because of net neutrality. But the FCC's chairman wants to change that.
Coming up on Cronkite News, how Mayor Greg Stanton is joining mayors across the country to fight for freedom on the internet.
And in 2010, 4G internet was released, boosting mobile internet speed and performance. But now we show you how Arizona is paving the way for a 5G network.
I think I finally found my hallelujah. I've been waiting for this moment all my life now. All my dreams are coming true, yeah. I've been waiting for this moment. It's good to be alive right about now. Right about now.
Officially from 36, and he hooks it in. Arizona State wins. Keeping one deep, and it is caught. Jalen Strong. Do you believe it?
Mayor Stanton is one of dozens of big city mayors who are urging for federal action to protect net neutrality, the concept that the internet is free and accessible to all. Cronkite News reporter Holly Bernstein tells us why the mayor believes there's visible benefit here in Phoenix.
Mayor Stanton tells Cronkite News ensuring that everyone who creates or owns online content are on an even playing field has driven innovation and improved our economy.
I'm for an open internet that is provided for everyone.
AT&T customer Joe Cattleman is one of thousands of travelers using internet while passing time at Phoenix Sky Harbor.
And I think it's a utility that should be provided by all municipalities.
Earlier this month, Mayor Greg Stanton was one of over 50 mayors across the nation to sign a letter to the Federal Communications Commission chairman advocating for federal action to be taken to protect the net neutrality. Saying in part, net neutrality rules recognize the importance of maintaining a level playing field for all internet content, regardless of the creator or owner, to be enjoyed by all users regardless of their internet provider. On May 18th, the FCC voted to consider repealing that protection, which could give internet service providers more control over the consumer. Comcast says they support a repeal, but also a free and open internet. Meanwhile, Joe Cattleman's provider, AT&T, supports what it calls the need for clear and enforceable internet rules. That's fine with this traveler, as long as that includes a free and open internet.
Just like you're free to talk to anybody on the street.
Mayor Staten credits net neutrality with helping quadruple the number of Phoenix tech companies in the past 5 years from 67 to 270. Holly Bernstein, Cronkite News.
And the state of Arizona was announced today as a pioneer in 5G network technology, something that State Representative Jeff Winninger says will change the world as we know it. Cronkite News reporter Noel Lilly attended the hearing.
Whether you're ordering an Uber, whether driverless cars in the future, whether you're ordering food delivery, or you're calling 911, you need the data, you need the signal in order to do that.
Arizona State Representative Jeff Winninger joined a panel of tech experts today in Washington to discuss 5G wireless networks and the impact they can have on the future.
5G is the 5th generation of telecommunications systems. It's faster than 4G and will soon become the standard for the U.S. It's how we stream our shows, how we surf the web, and how we talk on the phone. Hello?
The panelists also said that the U.S. must step up to advance this new technology or risk falling behind other countries.
If we don't allow in a rapid way companies able to expand these services, we're going to be way behind the 8 ball, not only for those items, but competitively around the world where countries like Korea, Japan, China.
Many of the panelists added that the success of 5G in Arizona and other states depends on cooperation between states, companies, and the federal government.
I think there's a way to make this happen where you can bring together private industries along with public partners and all the governments to make it work. And that we continue to work hard to find not only the policies that need to be done in Congress, but also within the FCC and the federal government to try to find ways to get 5G moving and moving fast.
Some of those policies have found their way to Arizona, such as HB 2365, a bill that was championed by Representative Winninger and goes into effect in a few weeks, making Arizona the first state with legislation that opens the door to 5G.
So I think the outcome is going to be better wireless service and possibly being one of the first handful of states to have 5G fully deployed in Arizona.
In Washington, Noel Lilly, Cronkite News.
And 5G is said to be almost 100 times faster than 4G or LTE, with rates of 100 megabytes per second in metro areas.
NASA is working on a mission that could tell us more about life in outer space.
Coming up on Cronkite News, we tell you how smaller NASA projects are making their way for the big mission.
And the storms are making their way out of our state, but round 2 is right around the corner. Your full 7-day forecast coming up.
Heaven knows you're a dreamer. Don't hide it from anyone. Don't hide it from anyone. Would you believe me if I said we are here for a reason now? This is our life. This is what counts. This is for us. I will go anywhere for you.
I don't think a military mom at the time would want to announce my son has gone AWOL, my son has run to Canada, my son is all the words that were associated with it, a deserter, a coward, all of the things that these guys were called. I don't think that's what those guys thought they were doing. I do not think they thought they were deserting. I do not think they thought they were cowards. In fact, I think they thought they were very brave.
An Arizona State University professor at the School of Earth and Space Exploration told a congressional subcommittee how smaller NASA projects are setting the stage for grand missions. Our Washington reporter Alex Valdez tells us exactly how NASA could benefit from these missions.
4.5 billion years ago, in our early solar system, a protoplanet called Psyche was involved in a number of collisions. Collisions that Dr. Lindy Alkins-Tayton says stripped the planet of its rocky surface and left behind a world of metal. This hypothesis is set to be tested in a mission to outer space, which will help pave the way for future missions like Mars 2020 and the Europa exploration.
You need to spend a little less money, go and check things out before you begin to spend more money. You have to be ready for those bigger missions. And so all of our smaller missions, like Psyche, have set the stage for the big things that are happening now.
Big things like the future mission to Mars, which was featured at the Smithsonian Air and Space Museum, where visitors were able to step into another world. Visitors like Emily Garcia, an Arizona resident.
It was really just neat to experience that and see how engineers are thinking about life on Mars and how to get around. And it'll be interesting to see what science is going to come out with in the next few years for that.
The big mission now is the launch of a rover to Mars in the year 2020 and the exploration of Europa, a moon orbiting Jupiter. Scientists testifying at the hearing believe both missions will transform our thoughts on Mars, the solar system, and life.
My expectation is if samples come back from Mars, this will be a revolution that goes way beyond sort of planetary science and geology.
Scientists and researchers expect to be surprised with their findings from Mars, but they hope samples taken from the red planet will answer the big question: is it possible that Mars hosted life? Reporting in Washington, I'm Alex Valdez, Cronkite News.
And while the question of life on Mars may still be up in the air, the question of whether there may have been a Martian civilization in the distant past was easier to answer, with one lawmaker asked about the possibility, fairly called it extremely unlikely. And monsoon season, Emily, is still in play. We have seen heavy storms, but what's to come?
So yeah, it's been a super active week this past week for all of us across Arizona, but we've got a little bit of a drier air mass moving into the region that's going to pull back on our storms just a little bit. So we'll start out today by taking a look at that satellite and radar. Now this radar shows us the past 12 hours. If you take a look here, you can see that storm activity moving out of our state. Starts out moving up to the north of our state, and over the next couple of days it's going to move out. That is because this drier air mass is moving up from Mexico, pushing all of that activity out of our state. However, as that happens, those high temperatures are going to bounce right back up again. Our high today was 102 degrees. Our average, still a little bit below that average of 116 and well below that record of 115 set back in the 1940s. Now taking a look across the valley, we've got 89 in Cave Creek, 92 in Scottsdale, 96 in Goodyear. And as we head into the later hours this evening, we've got 84 in Cave Creek, 80 in Superior, 87 in Casa Grande, and 91 in Goodyear. Across our state at the moment, we have got 62 at the Grand Canyon, 91 over in Lake Havasu, 93 down in Tucson, and 75 here in Show Low. Now taking a look ahead, by Thursday we are going to bounce back up to that 107. That's seasonal average for us. By Friday, we are looking at a 10% chance, and then there we go with that second round of the monsoon activity for our weekend. For Cronkite Weather, I'm Emily Bloom.
And although sports are mostly about competition, sometimes they can bring people together for a greater cause. Coming up on Cronkite News, we show you how a group of athletes are giving back to the community one game at a time.
Fascinating. You know, sometimes I wish I wasn't so beloved. Can't you see? Little girl got a hold on me like wow. Baby, I'm howling for you. Yeah.
one for the history books.
Enjoy.
What are you doing?
Possibilities. Your day is filled with them.
Reach up, energy in the fingertips, collapse. TV, play Downton Abbey.
And PBS helps everyone discover theirs. Anytime, anywhere.
Up in the sky, you can see it.
PBS, we're with you for life.
Các nhà lãnh đạo Việt Nam mà nói rằng là chúng tôi sẵn sàng hy sinh đến cái người dân Việt Nam cuối cùng. Thực sự mà nói thì người dân không biết được, Viện miền Bắc không có thể ý thức một cách đầy đủ rằng đằng sau những cái tuyên bố mà cao cả đấy là sự hy sinh của chính họ.
A socially conscious sports program that has incubated in Los Angeles and New York City may soon be heading to Phoenix. Carson Bush-Jost has more.
Adult sports leagues provide a social community for players to build relationships through competition.
That's her.
But there's one organization nationwide that focuses on a more important aspect.
At the end of the season, the winning teams get checks made out to the charities they've been playing for.
Matt Worley is the general manager of Zog Sports Los Angeles. Zog Sports is a nationwide co-ed league that emphasizes community building and giving back. What makes them unique is there are no trophies for the winners. Every dollar raised instead goes to a team's charity.
And once you get out of college, trophies don't mean as much as they used to when you were kids, and giving back to the charity means more.
The sports league is in 6 markets around the country. With more than 12,000 members playing in Los Angeles, Zog Sports gives people the opportunity to meet like-minded individuals in a lively setting.
I mean, it's just a great time. You get to be real competitive on the field, maybe exchange some words, but usually it's just, it's all in good fun.
The league was founded in 2002 by Robert Herzog, who was late to work on 9/11 when his company on the 96th floor of Tower 1 in the World Trade Center was struck. One of the survivors, he made a drastic career change.
Post 9/11, everybody was looking for ways to give back to the community. And he wanted to develop something that would have that same giving nature to it.
15 years later, Zog Sports has grown into one of the largest social leagues of its kind, with over 100,000 members playing every year. Since the founding of Zog Sports in 2002, the league has donated to no less than 2,000 charities. In Los Angeles, Carson Bush-Jost, Cronkite News.
And Zog Sports also offers leagues in kickball, bowling, ultimate frisbee, cornhole, dodgeball, and many other sports.
Cronkite News is proud to be the news division of Arizona PBS. Here's what's coming up on Arizona Horizon.
On the next Arizona Horizon, it's time again for the latest science news with our favorite physicist, Lawrence Krauss. And we'll learn about a new university campus opening this fall in Surprise. That's the next Arizona Horizon.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thank you for joining us.
And remember, for top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
They declared their rights to the freedom of body,
You might see people making love on the street corner.
the pursuit of joy,
It was like arriving in Wonderland.
and the expansion of consciousness.
We really thought that drugs were going to change the world.
But something happened to San Francisco's hippie invasion.
It got ugly, and the original people that went out there for peace and love left.
The Summer of Love on American Experience.
Tonight at 7 on Arizona PBS. Explore new ideas and new worlds here on Arizona PBS, a community service of Arizona State University.
The easiest and best way to support Arizona PBS is by becoming a sustaining member.
Your monthly contribution of $5 or more comes directly from your bank account or credit card, so you know your membership is always current. It also means no more renewal notices in your mailbox. So more of your dollars go to the programs you love. It's convenient for you, greener for us, and better for the planet. Become a sustaining member today.
Coming up next on Arizona PBS, Life and World.
I'm Scott Pelley, anchor and managing editor of the CBS Evening News. In our changing media landscape, it is crucial for journalism education to ensure a commitment to the truth, unbiased reporting, strong ethics, unwavering fairness, and above all else, accuracy. These are the hallmarks of ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. It's a place where students can innovate and transform the news industry while always upholding the values of the school's namesake. The Cronkite School at ASU, preparing the next generation for a stronger future of journalism.
Coming soon to Arizona PBS.
That's when the saints go marching in. Yes, when the saints go marching in, oh Lord, I want to be in that number. When the saints go marching in.
Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
Whitfield Nursery, proud to support Arizona PBS, a Valley tradition since 1946. Over 200 acres of Arizona-grown trees, citrus, and palms. Complete custom design and installation. And Whitfield Nursery still does the digging. WhitfieldNursery.com.
Ironwood Cancer and Research Centers. Personalized cancer care through medical oncology, radiation, and radiology services, focusing on emotional, physical, and social support. Outsmarting cancer, one patient at a time.
Coming up next on Arizona Horizon, the latest science news from renowned physicist Lawrence Krauss. And a new university is set to start classes in surprise. Those stories next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Arizona PBS, members of your PBS station. Thank you.